grab some CCs and wait for that to come down here.
Hermoster has connected. Shemaya has left the server. Hermoster has joined the channel.
Oh, damn it. It's my fault. So yeah, he's gonna keep going. Sorry to keep... Oh yeah, I haven't banished him, man.
Could you banish him, please? Getting CCs, please, and pull him back down, so stay down there.
Oh, actually realised it was coming via. Never mind.
I'm going to do the banisher folder so you can remove the ban. Please CCs. Please put CCs on everything else.
I don't think you need them on that pack. Just Guardians.
Yeah, I know, but
Counter.
up here for this group.
Time War. Iron Bar.
I'm gonna pull the boss.
Try to wait a few seconds until that debuff's actually gone from everyone.
Time War. Counter. Counter.
I'm pulling the boss again now. Do you want to clear this trash back as well?
I'd say that might be enough. I'm gonna go have a look. If we get into the corner, which will be, yeah, we'll still end up hitting them.
Counter.
Well, I didn't clear my buffs. This does seem to be. That's been happening quite a bit actually. Did anyone else get that lately? Debuffs not clearing at the end of a fight and then. Anyway, we were doing quite reasonable. Anyone here that wasn't with us the last night? Just so I can go over things in particular for you.
Wasn't.
Right, so basically straight up to Tyrant, we have Fury, so we'll have a concealment thing. We go up closer. On the pull, you're probably roughly 15 yards away from the boss if you're ranged. Just make sure that you do / range 4 now. And your aim then is, don't worry about that red circle until the ad is going to do the circles on the ground, the one that you have to move after too. Basically make sure that you're spread enough at that point, and especially that you're clear from melee at that point if you're ranged. Move after the 2 circles on the ground and move again to where you were after that too then. The DPS race is kind of semi-relevant or whatever, but we have enough time to finish off the ad, or close enough to at the end of phase 1, so at 72%, 73% we'll finish off the ad if it's not already almost dead. Like if there's 10% left on it, don't worry about it. But the aim is that we go into phase 2 without the ad up if possible. Phase 2 we only concentrate on Valhari, we do not attack the ad at all, do not cleave onto the ad if it's a DPS lost single target. Our aim is to get out of phase 2 ASAP. We will not survive if we have an extra 2% on the boss, like we were at last night's, if we can't get the interrupt rotation sorted, or if we can't meet the amount of DPS we need to do. So this is go hell for leather during that part. There's very little purpose in getting numbers up by hitting the second Vindicator or whatever his name is. As soon as we get out of phase 2, which is quite possible. Oh yes, and during phase 2 for the font, I'll stick down the markers now. But basically the aim of the font is that we are roughly the 4 or 6 yards apart, whatever it is that the range indicator shows you at the time, and that the clean people are close enough to the font people that we can share the edict. But you have to just judge that by looking at your range radar. Try to have the dots that show up, like say right now I see that there's a rogue on mine, which is obviously Fury, but during that part I'm going to edge up until he's just on the outside of my green circle, because he obviously has font, or I have font and he doesn't, whichever. And that's the whole part of that little part there. Tanks will be at the front, we'll be at the back. I might move that green one back a little bit actually, just to give it a bit more during our phase 3 movements, we didn't get that far obviously, but basically we're moving up to the purple mark initially. That'll take 2 movements to get to there, so we'll move halfway, then we'll move up to purple, and then our next movement is into the star mark. So the next time that she puts shit on the ground, we go there, and we all get into a corner that can be the doorway or whatever. And when she does the strike and the ads knock us back and whatever, we'll also have a edict roughly there. So if, say, Warriorista or whoever wants to put a portal from just, I'll put down a little thing, say from somewhere like the circle mark to somewhere over here, be fine, or anywhere over here or whatever. And basically if you get edict, regardless of whether you can soak it or not, you're taking that portal, and if you can soak it on your own, you save yourself. If you can't, you're dying. It's that simple. The same then, we move along the outside of the wall, each time that she puts shite on the ground. Eventually we get to, I think it should be about here, then we'll need another portal. So where we have the mailbox at the moment, and just put it up maybe where I've put the nipple mark. So if Animal, I should say, wants to do one there, and that way then we have areas covered where people can be clean, or can move out to. They don't have shite on the ground, they shouldn't have shite on the ground and under them, so try to be tight when we're transitioning from phase 2 to 3. Don't stand on top of the demonic gateways that are down already, type thing. Just allow them to have a place that they can do their soaking, whatever. The final few seconds of 2 to 3 anyway is going to be very hairy, but so are the first few seconds of 3, like as in when the tanks have very low hit points, and we still have, we have low hit points for everyone, but we also have the debuff coming in that increases the amount of damage that we take. It's really important that people make sure that you're out of the stuff on the ground as soon as it spawns. I'll try to do a call out for when it's going to happen, but there's nothing going to be more accurate than looking at your own DBM for it. You're going to have vent lag, which will give you a second or 2 out, so try to be very aware of it yourself. Ring.
You mean the fiery circles, right?
No, that's during phase 3. I mean, now, do you know she puts Bulwark is the name of the ability, yeah. She puts kind of like slime on the ground or whatever, you just have to move out of it.
Oh yeah, the red void zones.
For the taunting, of which one to do. There's only really one time when it's important that it would end up being the strike. You're probably better off taunting for the debuff, really, like for the two orbs going out. The only time that it's not beneficial, the only time that it is beneficial for the strike really is when it's timed at the same time as Edict, which might be a bit tricky for you, of course. But the two orbs is the edge. Oh, you mean something else, do you?
Yeah, I'm talking about the arrow that the boss does.
Yeah, the strike, isn't it?
Strike, I think it's called. Yeah, if you read what Hakim said, the form is like pretty much the same time as the debuff that she put on the time. So like it's 2 second difference, something like that. So if we taunt when she does it, the strike will never go on the raid, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it'll work, but we can try.
Yeah. No, if you can do that, definitely far away. What else was I going to say? For those that weren't here last night, the whole idea is that we spread out from well past the green to well past the red type thing when we do go up, and the person that gets the annihilating strike, and this is very important, Wildy, if you can hear me, the person with annihilating strike stays where they are. You do not move, and everyone else moves slightly. We're so close that the cone, the part that you have to avoid, is very small. It's very easy for everyone, the 2 or 3 people there either side, to move slightly. Whereas if you move as the person with the strike, there's an unpredictability there where wherever you end up, people could still be standing. So don't move if you have strike, and do move if do move if you see the strike happening to someone very close to you. But our tanks will try and take the strikes. That's just a bonus. Don't expect it to be something that happens all the time, and it's just a bonus. Oh, and that is very important, yes. We shouldn't have the Edict and Strike together though, Red. We didn't have it the last night. That might be a case this time, of course. But if you are the person with Strike when Edict is happening, because we're killing the ad this time, during phase 1, if you're the person with the Strike and Edict is happening, make sure to get out to one of the 2 sides, like to where the purple area is, so the strike goes towards purple or to the opposite side. We'll all be soaking in the middle. Don't have strike go through everyone, basically. If you get strike and Edict, you've a 1 in 20 chance actually of that, so no, you've probably less actually. Realistically, it's a 20 by 20 chance, so.
How much this story?
Ring on pull. Make sure that we have ring going up into phase 2. If we have enough time, we'll pop ring during the phase 1 again, but we definitely need it up during phase 2, and it has to be up when heroism is active, basically. So we can hold off heroism for a little bit during phase 2. But our aim right now is to get out of phase 2 as quickly as possible, so that has to be the main goal. I'm not 100% sure if they're... Oh, go on.
Just so you know, if we'll get to third phase, the first movement will be to this spot.
No, where you are? No. Halfway between green and purple?
Definitely not. It's
Yeah, where Skull is.
Okay.
or pretty much both, you know, even closer, but roughly in half.
Just so everyone is aware of this as well, I'm sure most people know and whatever, but during phase 3, the shit that's put on the ground that happens on the bulwark, she puts it in under people. So we have 20 people. If everyone's spread around the place, that's 20 spots that we have underground. She doesn't put under everyone, but you get the idea. If we're all stacked on top of the tanks, which we should be, regardless of a 1.5% DPS loss for melee being at the front of the boss, honestly, it doesn't make that much difference. If we're just moving her barely enough out of the shit, be at the front. If you have enough room to be at the back as melee, that's fine, but be aware that you're going to have to move through 2 patches. You're going to have to move through your own one and the one that the tanks and everyone else is just after dropping, so keep that in mind. If you find yourself dropping low, be at the front, be at the tank. Phase 3 is not a DPS race. Phase 3 is a survival race. That's it.
Cool.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Annihilating strike in 5, so remember, stay where you are if you get it and move outside if you don't. Just move small amounts is all. Strike again in 2.
One.
Sorry. Take the ad over.
Boss.
Some cool.
3, 2, 1. Watch your
Infernal Tempest, be spread. Make sure your green circles
Watch your step. Watch your
move after 2. And back in after 2.
3, 2, 1.
Strike.
Watch your
I'm locked up.
3, 2, 1.
Move in towards each other if we can here.
Watch your 3, 2, 1.
That's fine. Can we get a reset?
Watch your
No.
Alright.
watch your step.
I'll res afterwards.
Yeah. Don't release. I'm guessing then it's just a matter of you opposite for taking the ad, maybe, if you're trying to take the strike.
2, 1.
But on that attempt, that's what I said. Unless I went off the vent as well, I locked up. So I was standing and I couldn't do nothing.
How do you lock up? Macros stop working?
Warcraft just froze.
Huh. I know, it was fine anyway, like, you don't have to overly worry. Well, I mean, it's not going to get us a kill or anything like that, but you don't actually have to move from anything in this unless it's not targeting you, basically. So you're not going to screw up the raid by you, it'll just be you dying.
Yeah, I can't remember if I posted it. I've actually got an add-on that does the counts for you. 1, 2, 3, 4 when you have to move in the circles. So I could time it. I could hear the number, but I couldn't see anything.
Oh, yeah. Nah, well, you can just look for the 2 circles underground as well, I find it easy enough.
It's very hard to miss.
Guys, problem.
Hmm?
11,000 milliseconds world. I'll try a computer reset. But
Yeah, I'll get someone in there quickly, sure. If you want the Hearthstone first, I suppose. Demas, are you logged in? See you on vent at least.
Wildebeest
Not-
has left the
not sure, okay.
server.
Need to
I've whispered this alt anyway, if that's what you mean. We get someone installed there for Sheena, please.
There's
Shemaya has connected. Shemaya has joined the channel. Wildebeest has joined the channel.
Actually, on second thoughts as well, Warriors, if you can move your purple-sided portal a little closer, I guess realistically they'll still take one strike and they want to be out for the second, if anyone's actually able to immune it. So they probably won't have time to run over before the second strike if we have it too far. Then again, actually, I think anyone that can actually immune it has a blink or disengage anyway.
shit.
That was successful.
3, 2, 1.
I think I may need to move the portal that's close to Neely.
The
Seal it
green
there.
side of it?
Yeah, the green one.
No, should be fine there.
No, it wasn't this one, it was the other one that was removed now. Yeah, you can do the full time.
You know which position you take, Sheena?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Torn boss. 2, 1. 3, 2, bigger. 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch all.
Taunt.
Infernal Tempest in 5. Make sure your range radar is clear.
Let's put the Tyrant in the middle.
Watch all. 3, 2, 1.
Iron Bond.
Watch all. Taunt boss.
Switch to the Enforcer a little bit. We'll knock him down to maybe 50% if we have time.
Watch all.
What the hell is going on?
3, 2.
It was my bad, I actually moved into the arc.
Like there's like 20,000 strikes on the ground. Or
Someone got hit by it then, I wasn't sure. We have a strike again in 3.
2, 1.
No, you can reset if it's possible.
that's
It's
like-
unlikely though.
Vigilant.
Watch all. 2, 1.
Woohoo. Just during the phase 1 though, if we can get more cleave on between the two ads, like if it's not an overall DPS loss, then try to do it. Like I'm going to keep the dots up on the two of them type thing. I'm sure Shin will be sweeping strikes, Fury will be whatever rogues are called, you know. The more damage we can split between the two of them, the better really. Yeah, to be honest, we're not suffering too much with the strike anyway at the moment, so don't overly worry about trying to get Valhari to cast a strike towards you. It also means there's more damage going on you anyway, but yeah. Apparently the ad also cleaves, so try to keep it a bit more aimed towards the back of the room, I guess. Shin, on the off chance that we have 10% left on the ad going into phase 2, just sweeping strikes and execute the ad. I think it does the same damage onto Valhari then anyway, or whatever.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
3, 2, 1.
Shin, don't move.
3, 2, 1. Watch all. Taunt boss.
Infernal Tempest and 2, be spread.
Watch your step. Watch all. Taunt 3.
Strike and 2, don't move.
Watch all. 3, 2, 1.
Move in slowly towards each other.
Watch all.
Alright, never mind, that's Hunter, I guess.
boss. 3,
Right, we need to get the ad down lower.
watch all.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Watch your step. Watch all. Taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch all. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch all. 3, 2, 1.
Right, push her. That's Felhari.
Watch your left.
This was the bad one. We were meant to get that DPS check there. My apologies.
Torn 3, 2, 1.
So our aim now then is to leave 10% on the ad then, basically. 15% make sure that she's going to push type thing. You can, well we can't reset, so if you can just give out reses, thanks for. You can die anyway then.
I found
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, to be honest, we were so close to it there. We could just have waited going into it. Maybe you did though. There's a minute and 10 seconds still left on the ring. Basically, anyway. Oh, go on.
Can I just explain something
Hmm.
from LA? The locations I assigned you to, you stay in DPS there. If you got something you need to move from, you move to the side, but you return to the spot you are assigned to. Just because you need to move somewhere, because you need to avoid that fire cone or whatever, you just sidestep it and move back in.
I guess hunters, since you get a bonus above 80% or whatever, if you want to switch from Velhari to the ad straight away as soon as she drops below the 80, if the ad isn't already, or things like that. But we do need to get that ad so that we have less hit points needed to kill it during phase 2. Just so people are aware as well, the Infernal Tempest for her. Hang on a sec. Yeah, the Infernal Tempest, like the circle that's on the ground is tiny. There's no reason why anyone would get hit by that. Like, even if someone stands on top of you or whatever, there's no reason why you should be getting hit by the knock up from it. And the damage going off in an AoE from people being too clumped up and whatever is only 4 yards, so there's no reason why, again, as soon as you realise someone's too close to you, you can't move the opposite direction. Like, if for instance, I don't know, I see Hemosta here in my range radar, if I see he's just stepped into mine, I can move freely back here to between Kazdan and Hemosta so that I'm clear. Do you know, it's not, your place isn't concrete. Your mitigating of damage is the most important part during this part.
Just because I got the question again, if you got the arrow pointed towards you, and you're the mark that's going to be hit, you just stay put, everyone else sidesteps it.
Yeah, that's the same for melee as well. Like, everyone has to be aware what way that arrow is facing. It's not just the person that's beside you. It could be melee if you're ranged. You still have to know where that arrow is pointing from the boss. But if, as melee, you swing around the boss, you're just going to screw everyone up in 2 seconds time because they think that they're safe and now you've just pointed the arrow towards them.
You ready, Musa?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 yards, not 4.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three, two, one. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Watch your taunt boss. Watch your step. Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your
Need some more DPS and Enforcer.
boss. 3, 2,
Move in towards, unless you can't.
watch your
Be a reset if possible. Oh no, never mind, you're dead.
watch your
Suppose that's a really important reason why we're not so spread out, like Red and Catherine on the outside. At least they can soak an edict if they need to. But Caller, you can't, so you can't afford to be on the outside.
1.
But it's the same for everyone here. You need to be in closer unless you can soak an edict, basically.
3, 2, 1.
Riz and move away from the boss. Yeah, people should be aiming to be within a very tight group. We're trying to just be the 4 yards. I know that the debuff is 2, but it gives you enough room to slightly move out of your own circle if we're 4. Basically, there's no reason why we're miles apart from each other. Caller there got edict over at the very left or right hand side of the room as we're looking now. And couldn't make it across over to the middle before someone got strike and ended up with the whole place getting out.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three, taunt boss. 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
3, big ad. 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch your
Tempest and 5.
watch your step. Watch your
Taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch orb.
Need to get the enforcer down a bit more. Edict does with strike, try to move. Never mind.
Watch orb. Taunt boss. 3,
Yeah, I should have really said, but that one at 1 minute into the fight, that strike just moved to one of the two sides, try to get the edict into the centre unless it's a person that can soak. I guess we were just lucky the last night with people that could soak it. As a guide point as well, it's the 2 minute mark that we want to push Felhari into phase 2. So as soon as the ring is coming off cooldown, we want to be back. We want to be into phase 2. That doesn't mean pop the ring straight away, but as soon as she enters phase 2, we'll be popping the ring basically and finishing off the ad and her at the same time.
Do you really want 22 seconds?
Yeah, there's no reason not to really.
Was that a yeah?
Yeah.
Can you just let the tanks pull, please? So the boss stays right where it is.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 2, 1. Three, 2, big ad 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch orb.
Tempest and 2.
Watch your step. Watch orb. Taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch orb.
Next edict, and we have a strike right after it. Strike to the side, edict in the centre.
2, 1.
Stampeding roar.
It's okay.
Watch orb. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch orb.
Right, we have 45 seconds to get add damage done. Knock it down. Tempest.
Watch your step. Watch orb. Taunt 3, 2, 1.
Ah, crap.
Watch orb. 3, 2, 1.
Can switch back to the boss, get it down.
Watch orb. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Watch orb.
Push, 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 push.
Watch orb. 3,
Hmm.
2, 1. Phase 2.
Is that the third?
That's the one that we were trying to time it just so that we get as much add damage done as possible. Yeah, it's a reset anyway. The reason why is because if that ad has, say, 20 million left going into phase 2, and we do 20 million's worth of damage to it during phase 2, that's at least 20 million of hit points left on Valhari at the end of phase 2 when we want to be out of phase 2. No, we didn't focus it last time, and that's one of the reasons why we weren't able to get out of phase 2. Another one was that we missed interrupts and the boss healed up for 1 or 2% each time, which is quite huge when you're trying to meet 40% rather than 42% when we were wiping. But we have the time available to do both. As in, there's no reason why we go into phase 2 with an add-on 80% like we did last week, or last Thursday.
I think it's less. It was less than
60
80.
normally,
Actually,
but we had an 80% add going into phase 2.
yeah, but how many tries was that? Only one, yeah?
Yeah, but there's still no reason to have 60% either.
Kind of get way too close on the third one.
We have 2 minutes. Like, that's from start of the fight on when we have to have our push to phase 2. We can still afford a lot more DPS time on the ad, just not as much as we gave on the last one. 3 seconds more would have meant that 3 seconds more in Valhari would have meant we'd have been out of it though. I'm sure frost mages are cleaving as much as they can anyway, but the two of you maybe want to concentrate on the ad at all times from the start, and we'll see how much that DPS changes. Unless there's a reason why you'd
I think
go
we
the
got
other
plenty of cleave anyways. Got 3 affliction warlocks, frost mages,
way. Yeah, we'll stick. We'll just.
and hunters of course.
Yeah, I know. Just I want to try and limit the amount of people so that we end up with a push before 2 minutes anyway, without kind of having the ad dead, and we've still been on 74% when that happens or whatever. So we'll try to limit it to a few people and not just have the whole place swap over. Yeah, sure. We'll just go with Shinamea, the 2 mages, mainly DPS and on the ad, and cleaving onto Valhari, of course. Everyone else cleaving from Valhari or whatever way we were doing it before that.
Five, four, three, two, one. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
3, 2. Big ad. 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. Watch your. Watch your step. Watch your. Taunt 3, 2, 1.
Edict in 6, they're going in center, strike to the side.
3, 2, 1.
It's okay, red can soak it.
Watch your taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch your.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Watch your step. Watch all. 3 boss 2 1.
It's a hard switch to Valhari now. If you're on the ad, just kill
Watch
Valhari.
2 1. Taunt boss
Yeah, good.
3. Watch all. 1.
I found.
Taunt boss.
Gotta push quickly.
Watch all. Watch your step.
No, it's just out again.
3.
How did we end up losing more hit points
Watch
on
boss 2.
the Enforcer during the 10 seconds or 15 seconds that we had set to switch to Valhari? Then in the 15 or whatever seconds before it, I know that you get execute opening up on the ad at that point in time, but we needed to make, yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, we needed to make the DPS check, and I guess I can say it a little earlier as well, really. But yeah, to be honest, if we didn't get to that kind of percentage on the ad left anyway when we switch it, it should be meaningless as soon as we get to phase 2.
Stampeding roar.
Yeah, Voodoo does that. It's quite handy for when we're resing a lot of people like there though. There's a repair bot at the back.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss 3, 2, 1.
Ah,
Watch all.
crap.
Tempest and 2.
Watch your step. Watch your taunt. 3, 2, 1. Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your
Yeah.
boss.
Can
Reset.
yeah, can reset.
Vigilance.
Watch your 3, 2, 1.
No.
Demos has left the channel.
Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your
'Seems the balls went through the melee. That could be why he ended up with so many Tempest type circles underground. That might have been after you died now, I'm 100% sure though.
I had no place to move whatsoever.
You got all of north, didn't you?
I should have, in a sense, but I didn't. You know?
So who's standing north then? It's just you and Alba that's north.
Yeah, and I'm ever using only two tiles, and that's the one I'm currently standing on from start, and stepping forward one step or this side.
Yeah, just like everyone else.
Except that melee can move backwards, right?
Shinna,
So can tanks.
Without having to move the boss.
well, Shinna also got the strike that
Yeah,
time.
but you are aware that the boss will move, right? Or the ad.
Right, stop, just stop. What melee does is they stand at max range, they step one bit forwards, right on the edge of their little circle. In theory, no one should be standing on top of the boss, so that should be all free for tanks or whatever. If you were to do the same, stand at max range from the boss, you're still able to hit it, you stand one step forwards, you should be just the same.
Well, even if they step 2 steps back, it'll actually be the exact same thing for them, really, though. As in, they won't be standing in towards you, they'll just be going a little further out. But yeah, I know what you mean as well. The only thing is the Valhari will stand right up to the tank, whereas you can stand at max range, which isn't the same distance as the tank will be from Valhari, though. So they'll be stepping back 2 steps rather than anything else. Anyway, these are not problems we were overly suffering from the last night, so attempt to fix them. I don't know, have we? 5 melee. You just have to be very careful on keeping in your spot and using it as a cone. You move forward and back, you don't go to the sides where possible. If you get hit by the strike, you're staying in that cone that you're already in, and you just take the damage and move forward. If you have the circle in under you, move back again after it. That kind of thing.
How much damage does the edict do in total to one person?
If they were to soak it on their
I
own?
think it's 2.1 million per
Oh.
tick.
Taunt 3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Strike
Watch
again.
orb. Watch your step. Watch orb. Taunt 3, 2, 1.
Edict in 4. If you're slow, move in now. Well, you're going to be slowed anyway if you can't soak it, I mean.
2, 1.
Stampeding roar.
Watch orb. Taunt boss. 3, 2.
Right, a reset there if possible. Don't accept these.
Watch orb.
So a few things. We're miles away from the boss. There's absolutely no reason why we would be that kind of a distance back. If someone is disengaging out to soak an edict on their own, they need to have enough distance, which means that if you're standing back here, the second ticket edict is still going to hit you. So can we stick with what we were doing the last time in relation to positioning and be within 15 yards of the boss's range? As ranged, there is no reason why we would be back here. There's absolutely no benefit to it. The only thing that you're going to do is screw up people that are disengaging out, or screw yourself up when they disengage out. We have to be more compact. We have to make it that, I'll use the remaining marks, make it that we're pretty much within this boxed off area as such, and that means that our edict soaking is going to be quite quick. Our tempest the strike should be going off to one direction, of which people can still be around in an arc from skull to circle, with this being the outside of the arc. Let's just make this cleaner and be quicker about it. Move in.
5, 4, 3, 2. 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Taunt boss. 3, 2. Big ad. 1.
Uh,
3, 2.
Don't worry about being on top of each other for the moment. Tempest and 9, you can move now though.
Taunt boss.
Be spread.
Watch your step. Watch orb. 3, 2, 1.
Strike.
Watch orb. Taunt
Ah,
boss.
shit, so
3, 2, 1.
Move in.
Watch orb.
It's gonna be on range.
2, 1.
Tempest again in 4. Be spread your 4 yards, mind them balls.
Watch your step.
I found.
Watch your 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss.
Get that Harry down.
3, watch your 2, 1. Watch all. 1. Taunt boss.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Watch all. Watch your step.
I bound.
Move it slow again.
3, 2, 1. Phase 2. Watch all.
So I call that at 1:45. I'm just going to check the log and see what we're still doing. Major damage to the ads at that point. I'm just going to name out people that had more damage done to the Ancient Enforcer during the time I said to switch to Velhari. Don't feel like I'm pointing out fingers or anything like that. This is just people need to realise that we have to switch to Velhari to meet the DPS check. Joaquin, I guess that was Outwind and Fire or whatever. Adorai, we should have switched at that point. Let's see, anyone else? Shinna. So again, if we're not going to meet the time, you need to switch from from the Enforcer to Velhari. You'll hear me say it generally, and yeah, that's it though.
Yes, I'm back, please. Give demo a try. Just have a feeling it may be okay on this fight because there's so much movement.
I didn't even realise it was break time, sorry. Yeah, could we get a summon on stone if Warriors to Amara is there? Seems so, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Move in.
4, 3, 2, 1. Three, taunt boss, 1.
Aw, crap.
3, Brigade, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3,
Strike, or
2,
yeah, strike, sorry.
Watch
Infernal
your-
Tempest tonight.
Watch your step. Watch your taunt 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Watch your 3, 2, 1.
Riddle soap, I'm sure.
Watch your taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch your
Tempest and 2.
watch your step. Watch your taunt 3, 2, 1.
Strike. Push boss, sorry. I might have said it a little
Watch your
late. All focus on Valhari.
Taunt boss. 3. Watch all. 2. 1. Taunt boss.
Push her a little bit. Nearly there.
Watch all. Phase 2.
Good. Almost perfect. Move in towards the green area.
Taunt boss.
Slowly.
It's fun.
Watch all.
Finish off the ad. Let the explosion happen just in Valhari. Heroism as well, we were supposed to get already.
You have to move a bit, Saba, or someone the
Fonts out just on the outside of the circle. We want to be close.
Taunt boss.
Don't do any damage to the Harbinger.
Taunt
Just
boss.
need interrupts on it. Fonts again happening in 2. Move to the outside.
Interrupt 1.
Counter. Survival initiated.
So that's one lava.
Edict in 7, we need to be close enough. Interrupt soon.
Interrupt 2.
Counter.
Taunt boss.
Barrier.
Taunt boss. Interrupt 1.
Counter. Vigilance.
Interrupt
Fonts need to be getting back in if you're just dropping. Move to a clean area.
Taunt boss. Interrupt 1.
Counter. Last stand.
Interrupt 2.
Healed.
Taunt boss. Interrupt 1.
Counter.
Yes, but plaster as his Sarkin.
Interrupt 2.
Don't accept, we'll try to get you off again.
Taunt boss.
5.
Bah.
Interrupt 1.
Yeah, that would have been a push just in time. Well, nearly. $20 million of our hit points, just 2%, but still. I did notice a lot of the fonts moving well past the red X. Remember, we don't need to be miles apart, we need to be able to get the edict to be soaked between all 20 people, not just those on one of the two sides. So try to look at your range radar and try to make sure that there's people just on the outside of your green, so move closer towards them, but they're still on the
Demos
outside.
has left the channel.
And yeah, on the font, when it's clearing, like when you have 5 seconds left, head up to like the skull or whatever. Melee, you're gonna have to do
Demos
this out
has
in a
joined
second
the
or two
channel.
at DPS time as well. But what that means then is that when you get over to the green side, when you're clear, or no, sorry, when the debuff drops, you're not being killed by everyone that has the font on the red X, because you no longer have the debuff. And yeah, we'll just pop Hero as soon as she gets to 70%, so that'll be as soon as phase 2 happens.
Five, four, three, two, one. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, taunt boss. 1. Watch your watch your step. Watch your taunt boss. 2,
What
1.
the?
I found
Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your taunt boss. 3,
I can reset if you can, Steve.
watch your
What happened in the tanking area?
Had a Tempest dropped right behind me. As I'm stepping back, because I'm counting 1, 2, then I'm moving forward, 1, 2, then moving back again. Yeah. Because then I have 2 circles away. That's to the north, by the way.
Yeah, just looking at the replay here. That was your co-tank, one behind you. But yeah, that's all, that direction. Yeah, fan that type things.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, Brigade. 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch your watch your step. Watch your taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
last stand.
Watch your 3, 2, 1.
And for Edict. That's
Watch your boss. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, you can probably reset actually. We have no res for Augustin.
Watch your step. Watch your 3, 2, 1.
It was mainly just a strike and edict run on the same person, or getting hit by both anyway. Everyone should be close enough that we're pretty much stacking close enough to the boss for the edict though. There's no need to not have it hit melee if we can get them in it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Trying to pull.
Taunt 3.
I think it was someone clicked the portal mount, but still.
3, 2, taunt boss.
Take the ad elbow.
What?
3, 2, 1.
The hell?
Watch orb. Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Is this normal? The
Watch
fuck?
orb.
Just change the order of
Taunt
things.
3, 2, 1.
So maybe my god?
Watch orb.
Do you want to move it back?
Taunt boss. 3,
Yeah, do that.
1.
Stampeding blind.
Watch orb.
Watch him.
3, 2, 1.
Ah, crap.
Taunt boss. Watch orb.
Oh, I can't res actually. Oh no, I can.
Watch your step.
It's just been global cooldown.
Taunt 3, 2, 1.
Ah, crap.
Taunt boss. 3. Watch orb.
Felhari,
1.
100%.
Ah, crap.
Taunt boss. 3, 2. Watch your 1.
Need to push a bit quicker.
Watch your step.
Too late.
3, 2.
We definitely had enough time there because it was the exact same time I'd mentioned at the time we did push. Are we not hard switching to Valari at that point? It'll just make it that Shinna constantly stays on Valari rather than Enforcer. It's still just two people then anyway. Oh yeah, we did actually have a death. Never mind, that's probably what happened. But yeah, Shinna, if you want to mainly focus on Valari, we're leaving on to the end. And yeah, actually the boss was all over the place at the start. That's probably quite a lot of DPS downtime as well.
Does casting break the shroud?
Break the witch?
Does casting a spell break the shroud even if you haven't attacked it yet? Because I was halfway through casting Soulfire and I aggroed it, so...
Yeah, I'd imagine so, yeah. I would have thought they'd have left you off on the end, but I guess it's probably more sense as soon as you start casting.
Don't click on the ball next to it. Whoops. Thanks.
Just to clear up something I'm reading there. Most you asked Elba to taunt the ad at the start of that fight. I'm not 100% sure if that's what you're supposed to be doing or whatever, but that's exactly what you had said.
Because he already had 2 stacks, which is why I just swapped.
What we do the entire fight is I have the 2 stacks, the ad comes down, you pick the ad, put him underneath the boss, and then we swap. There's no reason to change it. And let's keep it that way.
Any of us tanks can do it, Alba. Doesn't have to be specifically me though.
Yes, but this is what we've done the entire fight. If you want to change it, tell me now, not during the fight. Okay? You want me to take that? I'll take that.
Oh my land. Whatever.
Why is this such a problem? Like, surely people knowing ahead of time is better
It's
than
not a problem.
spotting.
I mean, I'm just saying that any of us can take it, you know? Just
Yes, and
have to
Joaquin
be
can
specifically
too. It
one.
doesn't have to be any of the 2 ye either, like. Do you know, can we just try and
No, but you
get
get my
this
point,
working?
yeah? I'm not trying to make it any more complicated for it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Can we stop this, please?
I think it's people precasting, which they don't need to do. I know that it's nice to get.
No, that was a portal.
Three, two, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Strike, then Tempest and 9.
Watch your Watch your step. Watch your Taunt 3, boss. 2, 1. Watch your
What?
3, 2, 1.
In for Edict. Yeah, with Strike.
Watch your boss. 3, 2, 1.
Ah, crap.
Watch your boss.
Switch to Valhari if you're not already.
Watch your step. Watch your 3, 2, 1.
Can reset if it's possible.
Watch your 2, 1.
So was that Rita?
Yeah, if that's possible.
3, 2, watch all. 1.
I'm just looking at replay here. I'll show you it if you're in need, but out of interest, most outcome you're coming up by X on that attempt there. It's at 45 to 56 seconds, that time period.
There's not during Tempest, there's not during Annihilation. It's repositioning the ad that I had to reposition, yeah? Because I
Alright.
pulled it out.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good. Even if he's running around the place still.
Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Begin. 3, 2, 1.
Ah, crap.
Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch all.
Strike.
Taunt boss.
Tempest into you.
Watch your step. Watch all. Three, 2, 1. Watch all. Taunt boss.
Ad facing back.
3, 2, 1. Watch all. 3, 2, 1. Watch all.
Can you zombie this?
Yep, that one I was like,
Watch your step. Watch all. 3, 2, 1.
If we can reset again.
Taunt boss. Watch all. 3,
Heals, please.
2, 1. Watch all. 3. 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Three. Brigade. 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2. Taunt boss. 1. Watch all.
Tempest, yeah.
Watch your step. Watch all. Taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch all. 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl.
Gotta go
Watch all.
outside.
Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Icebound.
Watch all. Taunt boss.
4, 3, 2.
Tempest again.
Watch your step. Watch all. 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. Watch all.
Push
3,
Valari.
2, 1. Watch all. 2, 1.
Push, push, push. Good.
Taunt boss. Watch all.
Edict move to green.
I'm warm.
Taunt boss.
Try finish off the ad before the ring explodes.
Watch all.
DPS and Valhari.
Taunt boss.
Move back again.
It's just on the outside of the circle.
Taunt boss.
I don't think there's actually anyone standing on the red X. You're all
One.
a little further past him.
Still have some people in range of first.
Taunt boss.
Remember all DPS and Valhari.
Interrupt 1.
Counter.
Taunt boss.
Priest standing that's clean. There's a shaman that's clean.
Interrupt 2.
Counter. Round 5.
Yeah, that'll be a reset if it's possible, Steve.
Interrupt 1.
Counter.
Well, that was a perfect transition into phase 2. The edict happening just as it's starting is good. We get onto green.
Interrupt 2.
Yeah. Guess someone taunted Valhari back today.
Interrupt 1.
Yeah, looks that way.
Except Rez to move away from boss.
Might have been taught immune, actually, at that point.
Oh, could have actually, yeah. If you haven't already, make sure you go into DBM and set the countdown for when font is going to drop as well, or a week or to tell you when you have 5 seconds left on the font, or whatever way. Just make sure that you move away from the dirty area, the red X, into an area where you're not on green or X, and then move to the green area when it's gone entirely. You need to do that for the last 2 ticks of it, basically. You don't want to be still standing on X and get hit by everyone's font, and you don't want to be on green before that point and hit everyone else with font. So it's a little cycle that everyone has to do, but we have to be aware of it. I think that's the one that's showing that there's only a few seconds left on it. If not, well, just use DBM timer or your debuff timer anyway. Since we've made AFK for... oh yeah, she's just starting a few more cooldowns. But look, there's not much in this fight has changed from when we were there Thursday night. We literally have 2 people focusing on the ad through phase 1, and that's about it. There's no reason why phase 1 would be any harder, and there's no reason why phase 2 would be any harder. You know. Oh, cheers. Forgot about it. No thanks, I left work in the morning, so I'll have to look for them.
Five, four, three, two, one. Three, two, one.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Taunt boss. Three, two, one. Three, two, one. Watch your
Crap.
Taunt boss.
I've done reposition.
Watch your step. Watch your Taunt three, two, one.
Crap.
Don't accept for a sector, you have a strike there. Yeah.
Three, two, one.
Stampeding wrong.
Watch your Taunt boss. Three, two, one.
Iron bar.
Tempest and 8, be spread.
Watch your
Switch to Valhari if you're on the Enforcer.
Watch your step. Watch your Taunt three, two, one.
Last stand.
Move back in, closer, with a Vedict in 20
Watch your
seconds.
Three, two, one.
Run away, little girl.
Survival instinct.
Three. Watch your two.
Push, push, push. Good.
Taunt boss. Watch your
Phase 2, Heroism.
Time war. Tranquility.
Finish off that.
Watch your Taunt boss.
Fonts out. One druid still in with us.
Bigger.
Good.
Taunt boss. Taunt boss.
Fonts out.
Interrupt 1.
Countered.
Taunt boss. Interrupt 2.
Countered. Smoke on.
Fonts
Taunt
out.
boss. Interrupt 1.
Countered.
Interrupt 2.
Countered.
Taunt boss. Interrupt 1.
Countered.
Taunt boss.
Around
Interrupt 2.
Heal went off.
Taunt boss.
Iron bar.
Interrupt 1.
Countered.
Taunt boss.
I found. Survival instinct.
Interrupt 2.
Countered.
Yeah, we wanted to push just before that edict.
Phase
Isn't that last edict the sacrifice if we get it?
3. 3, 2, 1.
Can certainly do it, yeah. Probably something that we should have done.
Phase 3, woo.
Is there a set interpretation?
Yeah, the 2 tanks swapping, as far as I know. Do you need a third person on it?
No, it's 2 person rotation.
Yeah. I suppose just bear in mind, as much as it'd be nice to have a backup, you're also missing out on damage throughout the fight during phase 2 or whatever. So if 2 people can do it, and being the 2 tanks, it'll be much more beneficial than trying to get someone to keep an eye on the timer themselves as well, and do DPS on Valhari.
I don't think so. I don't think with on DPS didn't it get healed, the boss.
Yeah, he got healed. Or she. She did 6 million of healing, which is quite a lot.
1 interrupt.
Just make sure that you have interrupt a message, so I actually know that you're interrupting.
But we could still do it if we get that last edict. The person just needs to kill himself.
Yeah. So just as a slight change, this is not the end of the world or anything like that. During the last few % of Valhari, if you get targeted by a edict, go out and sacrifice. Hopefully no one has died at that point. If it's a healer, we will res you. If it's a DPS, well, you're staying underground. During the phase 3 then, every edict is a sacrifice or a soak, so don't expect to be able to stay in. Also, I know that quite a few people can immune a lot of the damage of the edict, but that one, just a 42% or 40% or whatever, that's not one that we can reliably soak as a group, even the 1 tick. So if you can get out straight away, do. It's unlikely because the circle is massive, but certainly try anyway though. Although there is 2 lock portals there right beside us, so if you get hit by edict, just click on one of them.
Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch orb.
Tempest, yeah.
Taunt boss. Watch your step. Watch orb. 3, 2, 1. Watch orb. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl.
Watch orb.
Don't move for that.
I had to. Edict was coming in the middle.
1.
It's on one then.
Taunt boss. Watch orb.
Why is it? I don't know.
Watch your step.
Move and don't get hit by balls.
Watch orb. Taunt boss. 2, 1.
I found.
3.
Switch to Valari if you haven't.
1. Taunt boss. 3, 2. Watch orb. 1.
Second Edict.
Phase 2.
Good, move to green.
Watch orb.
Tranquility.
Taunt boss.
Finish off ad.
Spirit move.
Can't res game, no
Taunt boss.
more res on 220.
Taunt boss. Big ad. Taunt boss.
Yeah, it's a reset if possible. I'll move up.
You need to be a little bit off from the north, but otherwise you won't leave any room for meats at all.
Would it be possible to delay the popping of the ring in the start of phase 2 for a few seconds? Or do we need to pop it that time?
Certainly would.
It'll help us DPS the ad down.
See, the thing is,
Like, we aim to have the explosion on Tyrant, but the DPS gain from having the ring activated will help us kill off the ad quickly as well.
yeah, if you can split your damage between the two and it be a DPS boost, then obviously the ring gets boosted by it as well, and when the explosion happens then just fill Harry. It's a benefit to phase 2 being quicker. To be honest, it's as much to do with people dying in phase 1. Like Amara had died earlier, wouldn't have had buffs up or whatever throughout the rest of it. That gives us a second or two that we're out and killing the ad maybe. And boss jumping around the place, the ad's not been on top of that type thing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taunt 3, 2, 1. 3, big ad 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, taunt boss. 1. Watch your
Tempest and 7. Be spread.
watch your step. Watch your taunt 3, 2, 1.
Can we keep the two of them together if possible? I know it's
Taunt
probably
boss.
something about
3, 2, 1. Watch your 3, 2.
reset if possible.
Watch your
5, 4, 3,
I
2,
found
1.
watch your step.
Was that my fault there?
Which part?
Where a couple of people died. I had edict on me, I moved in. Then a few people died.
But that's it.
No, I wouldn't say so. We're
Yeah,
supposed to soak that.
strike the red.
Yeah, the bullets were going through everyone at that point or so.
Smiling strike.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, taunt boss. 1. 3, bigger 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch
Tempest and 8.
It's early taunt on the end, remember? Start of
watch your
position.
step. Watch your taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
Watch
it'll be
your-
a reset, don't even accept you.
3, 2, 1. Watch your 3,
So I have a Chiefs or whatever.
Choose red.
Thank you.
4, 3, 2, 1. Three, boss, 2, 1. 3, 2, big ad, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Tempest and 8.
Watch your step. Watch your taunt 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Watch your
It will have to be reset.
3, 2, 1.
Is that reset?
Yeah, if possible.
Watch your boss.
Understandable, you want to cleave, but please just be around Tyrant, yeah? You move after the boss or the other things, and then you move into different positions.
I also kind of screwed up there. Moved too quickly.
Was this on the last attempt, I presume, anyway? I must have.
It's this one.
Just in the down seconds or earlier, do you remember?
I think it's right before I call the wipe. Oh, not the wipe, but reset. On the Tempest.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Big 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch your watch your step. Watch your taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your
Yeah, we can reset.
watch your step. Watch your 3, 2, 1. Watch your 3.
Well, that's not fair.
Phase 2 is like a healing buff with increased damage taken. That's how you might see it. Phase 3 is their DPS buff with increased damage taken. Yeah, a lot do. Red. We shouldn't need him. Until that point. So let's get the kill. This attempt.
4, 3, 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Three, taunt boss. 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Tempest after the strike.
Watch your step. Watch your taunt. 3, 2, 1. Watch your
Next edict, remember strike goes out ASAP
3,
to one of the sides.
1.
No. That's okay.
Watch your taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Tempest and 7.
Watch your
Switch to Velhari if you haven't already.
watch your step. Watch your taunt. 3, 2, 1.
Iron bar.
Watch your
Oh wait,
3,
let me just
2, 1.
Push hard on Velhari.
Watch your 2, 1. Phase 2.
Move to green.
Taunt boss. Watch your taunt boss. Taunt boss.
Try to finish off the ad before the ring finishes up.
Watch your
Fonts out. Good.
big ad. Taunt boss.
I have 4 stacks Kanto.
Fan suppression.
Taunt boss.
Fonts out.
I found.
Interrupt 1.
Counter.
Taunt boss.
Remember first fonts, when 5 seconds left, move out.
Next interrupt is yours, so
Taunt boss. Interrupt 1.
Counter. Healing tide. Barrier.
Interrupt
Counter.
boss.
Last stand.
Interrupt 1.
Counter.
Taunt boss.
Iron bar.
hit up on next interrupt.
Taunt boss. Interrupt 2.
Counter.
Push hard.
Interrupt 1.
Counter.
Taunt boss.
We're moving left, move slowly. Fonts.
Interrupt 2.
Counter.
Shield trying
3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
That was our tanks didn't have cooldowns up for that exact time. I know that's not something you would have had to plan for before, but you need major cooldowns, whether that's from outside or yourselves.
Do we move straight
No.
when the phase ends? We move straight, or we wait for the first
You
bullet?
move after it
first
does
bulwark,
the
yeah.
spoil there, where we're standing.
Well, that was extremely good. We just need to fix problems after that point now. Good interrupts, good DPS to get it down on both phase 1 and phase 2.
Our on Method's video, they suggested if you have a DPS warrior, which we do, they can use Die by the Sword and Taunt with the start of phase 3, and give tanks some time to get some maximum health back.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. Shinna, if you... Oh, go on.
Well, just pop the ring. Do we still have the ring, Alba, or are you popping it during some point in phase 2?
What I'm doing is I'm popping the ring during phase 2 so we can have our own cooldowns of grabs. And when those are over, we can have healer cooldowns.
Don't, because what the ring actually does is that it actually heals us up to maximum. It lets us heal up to maximum.
So do you want to save it to once third phase starts?
Yeah, a little bit before the transition, so I don't get hit one shot straight away.
Yeah, so in the transition into phase 3, as soon as phase 3 starts, Shinna will taunt with Die by the Sword. That gives you 12 seconds. We'll try and get everyone back up to full hit points then. I'm noticing here on the video that we still had Kim's, Fury's and one of Taicho's major cooldowns available. Maeve's next Tranquility wouldn't have been for 1 minute and 14, but we still had Caller's Pain Suppression and Amosta's Vigilance at that time as well, so these are definitely things that we just have to keep aware of. If it's the exact same timing, we can try and be a lot more careful. Do remember though that Shinna's Die by the Sword as soon as it drops, which is 12 seconds, means that she's going to die straight away, of course. So you'll have to taunt back by that point, but make sure you have major cooldowns up, or we have a pain suppression type thing on you, I guess. Yeah, taunt until you lose threat or someone else taunts.
Just make sure you get rid of that space in front of the hashtag, and replace all the names with your spell or whatever. Just make sure you set the focus on that.
Should probably move that purple gate a little bit further out though, so no one actually clicks on it.
The one at the star? That should be fine there.
Yeah. Guess I didn't warn you.
Nah, it should be fine there. The aim is to get people out ASAP rather than whatever.
5, 4, 3, 2. 3, taunt toss. 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
3, Digad. 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch your
Tempest and 7.
watch your step. Watch your taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch your taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch orb. 3, 2, 1.
Ah, crap.
Watch orb. Taunt boss.
Spread.
Watch your step. Watch orb. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we'll have to reset. We're down here a bit out of res.
Taunt boss. Watch 3, 2, 1.
Healing tide.
3.
We are bringing edicts over the melee, right?
If possible, yeah. Edict slows you down massively though, so people should have been closer to the boss in the first place, of course, and it should be possible. But yeah. Like no one should be more than 15 yards away from Felhari in the first place, which means that you have very little room to actually cover to make sure you're covering the melee with the edict as well. But I think one of the problems that time was that the strike still went through the edict soakers. Yeah, I'll call it out again though, as we're doing it, rather than just expecting people to know that they should be moving with it. Just as a rough guide anyway, if possible, try and bring it over towards the purple area during that, so just have it aiming that way, just so people are aware and know where to move to. That's only when the edict is happening.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Demos has left the channel.
Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
3. Brigade. 2, 1. Taunt boss. 3, 2. Taunt boss. 1. Watch your
Tempest at 9.
Move, Terry.
Watch your step. Watch your Taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch your
It's another
That's the
mess with
edict. If you get strike, bring it off to the side.
1.
To the side, did you? Cool.
Watch your Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Tempest and 7, be spread.
Watch your boss.
Left, we reset, we followed the rest, did you?
Watch your step. Watch your 3, 2, 1.
Can we reset
Watch
it,
your
if
3,
possible?
2,
Yep.
1.
Cool.
Iron bar.
Watch your 2, 1.
That was a good move. Do you want us to reset? Too late.
Are we going or not?
Yeah, we're gone, we're gone.
Taunt boss. 3,
She'll have it up later in the voucher.
1. Three, 2, 1.
Just make sure you use personals on the first edict if you've not already.
Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch orc. Watch your step. Watch orc. Taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch orc. 3, 2.
Move in. Persons.
Watch orc. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Back out.
Watch orc.
Tempest and tree.
Watch your step. Watch orc. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Can get a res actually.
2, 1.
Oh no.
3, watch orc.
Oh.
1.
I'd said I can get a res actually. Oh well, sure. Probably is for the best anyway then. Let's try tonight, chaps, to make this one count.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Striking 5.
3,
Stay where you are, everyone else moves.
big 3,
Again in 2.
1. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1. Watch orc.
Tempest and 6.
Watch your step. Watch
Boss
orc.
move.
Taunt 3, 2, 1. Watch orc.
Edict, move in.
2.
Strike out.
Watch orc. Taunt boss. 3, 2, 1.
Back out.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Watch orc. Taunt boss.
3, 2, 1.
Watch your step.
Sw-
Watch orc.
yeah, we'll have to reset after this.
3, 2, 1.
Is that reset?
Taunt
Yeah,
boss.
if possible.
Watch orc. 3, 2, 1.
bit late now. I forgot about it earlier.
Doing another pull?
Just having an executive decision there. Or waiting for replies at least. Yeah, nah, it's unlikely that we're going to get a kill on another 10 attempts or whatever. We've got some progress at least. Cheers for the raid, and hopefully it does next week.
Yeah, thanks for the raid, guys.
Shemaya has left the server.